everyone. We are live at a shrimp farm in northern Iowa. We're here at Windy Rock Shrimp, and we're talking to Jen Reese, who is the owner. And we're going to give you a virtual field trip. It'll last about 10 to 15 minutes and show you all around the farm. And we're going to see some shrimp close up. So I'll let Jen take it away. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and your business?
We've been raising shrimp now for 3 years, and we got into it just by, going to the grocery store and looking at the seafood there and noticing that everything was from Thailand, China, South America, and wondered, why can't we produce our own local shrimp here in America, in Iowa? So here we are, raising shrimp. I have a background of food science from UW River Falls, and I've been in the food industry ever since. I've been a quality manager for a food industry, and just always concerned that our food is made of the best quality possible. Some of the things that I do here every day, it takes me about 5 to 6 hours to do chores. It takes me about 2 hours to do feeding, making sure that they all get the right amount of feed. I also check weights once a week. I do some water testing where I check the solids in the tanks and I check pH. Sure. Sure. As you can see, there is a shrimp that is 30 days old. It's about 2 inches long. This is a pretty big shrimp compared to how we get them in from a hatchery that are the size of your eyelash. So in 30 days, from your eyelash to 2 inches long.
Okay. So can you show us one that's ready, that's harvest size?
Sure. Here is a shrimp that is ready for harvest. It's about 6 inches long and weighs about 20 grams. To put that in perspective, if there was a paper clip weighs about 1 gram, this would be 20 paper clips. You can see how big their eyes are. Pretty big, protruding out. They have a long antenna. They also have a lot of legs. They have 5 sets of walking legs and 5 sets of swimming legs. They have an exoskeleton, and they also have a horn on top of their head that's very sharp for their predators.
Who would be the predators in the ocean?
I would say some dolphins, sharks, birds like to eat them. So.
Okay, so shall we head out and see the shrimp? Sure.
All right. We'll talk about when we first get them in all the way till harvest. So I mentioned that they are the size of your eyelash when we get them in. We put them up in our top tanks, which is a nursery tank, and we transfer them down every 30 days to a bigger tank of salt water. So the second tank, they're like teenagers. They're 30 to 60 days old. And how we transfer them down is there's a plug in the bottom of the tank, and we pull that so the water is the same water and continues with them. And we just add a little more fresh water with the tank. So by the time they're ready for harvest, they're at the bottom tank and they're 4 months old, 4 to 5 months old. You'll notice the water is a little brownish in color, and that's the biofloc system that you see. So the biofloc is made out of algae, zooplankton, other microorganisms, and some feed waste And the shrimp like to eat the biofloc, and the biofloc like to eat the waste. So it's a continuous cycle. You'll also notice the feeders, and we fill those up in the morning, and then they shake out
shrimp. In Iowa, we're used to, when we talk about harvest, we're used to talking about harvesting corn and soybeans with a combine. I think this is going to be much different. Can you explain what you mean when you say harvest and explain the process?
Yeah, we harvest our shrimp. Like you saw, we take them out with a net, and I take a 5-gallon pail and fill it about halfway up with ice and water to get it really cold. And I weigh out each shrimp, make sure it's around that 20 grams, and put them in that water, and it shocks them. So by the time I get up front, they're already dead, ready to package up. I package them up in 1-pound packages or 5-pound packages. If I was going to the restaurant, I take 5-pound increments, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I add some ice around in the cooler and take them to the restaurant.
Who do you market to? How do you sell your shrimp?
I sell the shrimp with the heads on, and we go to the farmers market locally here. In the summer, we also sell to local restaurants, and people can come right to the farm and buy shrimp.
Okay, can you show us, for the consumer that may have purchased some shrimp, what do they do with them when they get them home? So can you show us that process?
Sure. When you purchase some shrimp, they'll look like this, right? But we usually don't eat them like this. So what you'll want to do is there's like a little hinge right behind their head. You'll want to twist and pull, and that'll take that vein out. And if it doesn't come out like that, you'll just want to take a scissors and cut up the back and just lift that vein out, and then take the shell off that way. I have a sample of what some shrimp would look like that's cooked. And that's probably what you're used to seeing, is a shrimp like this.
So these shrimp here would have been approximately 20 grams live weight or fresh weight before cooked, right?
That's right. Yep, they'd be about grams when they were harvested.
Okay. Jen, I saw some really cool scientific equipment up on the counter. Can we take a look at that? And then at the feed as well.
Yeah, here are some of the equipment that I use. We have the pH meter that we check the water with, and we got to make sure that water is correct, otherwise the shrimp aren't satisfied.
What pH level are you looking for is ideal?
We're looking at an 8 pH, just a little
neutral.
Yep.
Neutral.
Yeah, and we also use a DO meter, which is dissolved oxygen, and it also checks the temperature too. We want to make sure that there's enough oxygen in the tanks for them to stay alive. We also check our solids with an Imhoff cone, and we want to make sure that those solids we like it in the 30 to 40 solids level. If it's any higher, we know that's an indicator that we need to back off the feed a little bit. And speaking of feed, here's a sample of some of the feeds that we use. As they're so small, as the size of your eyelash, we have to first feed them a liquid feed. And then they start out with a solid feed, and it's just a small pellet that they get, and it gets bigger as they get bigger. So this would be the first feed we start out with, and it would end up being that size.
And again, how old are the shrimp when they're eating that big size?
They start eating that size at right after 60 days.
Okay. Great. Well, Jen, thank you for showing us everything today. This is such a cool place and such a different kind of farm than we're used to seeing in Iowa. What do you like best about your job and owning a business like this?
I really like the flexibility. and I like meeting the people at all the different places, and I like to hear their stories of why they like to eat the local fresh shrimp.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us today on our Farm Chat. If you'd like to see other examples of Farm Chat programs, you can search or look at the Farm Chat playlist on the Iowa Ag Literacy Foundation playlist, or you can also contact us at iowaagliteracy.org, and we can put you in touch with a farmer, maybe a shrimp farmer or any kind of farmer in Iowa, to do a live Farm Chat with your classroom if you would like. So thanks for joining us today, and goodbye.